the world doesn't wait. In just 7 days, the geopolitical landscape has shifted dramatically beneath our feet. Welcome to World Web Curious. I'm Alex, and in the past week alone, we've witnessed a surprise trade deal between global superpowers, missiles flying across one of the world's most dangerous borders, and a high-stakes diplomatic gamble in the Middle East. The decisions made this week will echo for months to come, so let's break down what you need to know right now. Stay tuned. U.S.-China trade ceasefire. Who said economic warfare can't end with a handshake? In a development that shocked markets worldwide, the United States and China have agreed to a surprise 90-day trade ceasefire. American tariffs on Chinese goods have plummeted from a punishing 145% to just 30%, while China has slashed its own tariffs from 125% to 10%. But is this really peace in our time, or just a temporary pause in a much longer economic struggle? Inside Chinese manufacturing hubs like Foshan, the impact was immediate. Factory workers who had been sent home are now rushing back as production lines restart. One air fryer manufacturer told reporters his U.S. clients are returning after months of silence. But here's the question we should be asking. Are these businesses preparing for a new era of cooperation, or simply enjoying a brief respite before the next round of economic hostilities? The evidence suggests the latter. Chinese businesses aren't just celebrating, they're diversifying, accelerating plans to reduce their reliance on American markets. Beijing is actively pushing firms toward Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. Could this be the beginning of a more permanently divided global economy? Meanwhile, Treasury officials described the talks as productive, while China's vice premier called them candid, diplomatic speak that reveals both sides are keeping their true intentions close to the chest. Israel's new Gaza offensive. As dawn broke over Gaza on Saturday, Israel launched Operation Gideon's Chariots, its largest military offensive since March. Israeli forces struck over 150 targets in 24 hours, with thousands of troops and tanks positioned at the border. The human cost has been immediate and severe. Rescuers report at least 300 people killed since Thursday, with strikes hitting hospitals and refugee camps across Gaza. In the northern Jabalia area alone, 29 children and 15 women were among the dead. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Amid this escalation, Hamas has proposed releasing more hostages under a new ceasefire deal. The offer includes 9 hostages in exchange for a 60-day truce and the release of Palestinian prisoners. It would also allow 400 aid trucks to enter Gaza daily. This raises a critical question. Is this a genuine opportunity for peace or a tactical move in a much longer conflict? And with aid agencies warning of famine among Gaza's 2.1 million residents, how much longer can the humanitarian situation deteriorate before it reaches a point of no return? The international response has been swift, with the UN Secretary-General and European leaders calling for a permanent ceasefire. But as evacuation orders force already displaced Palestinians to flee once again, the immediate future looks increasingly uncertain. India-Pakistan. 4 days on the brink. Imagine waking up to the sound of missiles striking your neighborhood. For families on both sides of the India-Pakistan border, this nightmare became reality during 4 days of escalating attacks that threatened to spiral into full-scale war between nuclear powers. It began with a militant attack that killed 26 people, mostly Indian tourists, in Kashmir. India responded with missile strikes that went deep into Pakistani territory, even into Punjab province, which one Indian official called Pakistan's red line. Pakistan claims to have shot down 5 Indian jets, something India has neither confirmed nor denied. The human toll was devastating. 16-year-old Nimra in Pakistan-administered Kashmir watched as Indian missiles tore the minaret off a mosque near her home. She didn't realize until later that she had been struck in the chest by shrapnel. In Indian-administered Kashmir, 13-year-old Vihan was killed when a Pakistani shell struck his family's vehicle as they tried to escape. "I have witnessed two wars between India and Pakistan," said Vihan's 72-year-old grandfather, "but never in my life have I seen shelling as intense as this." What makes this conflict particularly alarming? Both India and Pakistan possess nuclear weapons, raising the stakes to potentially catastrophic levels. How close did we come to witnessing the first nuclear exchange in history? Thankfully, a ceasefire brokered by the US and other international players on May 10th pulled both nations back from the brink. But with tensions still simmering, one question remains. How long will this peace last? Trump's Middle East Gambit. President Donald Trump is betting big on the Persian Gulf. Literally. His high-stakes tour of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar this week is focused on massive investments and strategic partnerships that could reshape the region's power dynamics. The numbers are staggering. Saudi Arabia has pledged $600 billion in U.S. investments, with Trump suggesting the total could reach $1 trillion. Not to be outdone, the UAE has promised $1.4 trillion over the next decade, focused on AI, semiconductors, and energy. But this isn't just about business. Trump's embrace of Gulf states marks a dramatic reversal from the previous administration's approach. Under Biden, U.S. relations with these nations cooled, particularly after he vowed to make Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman a pariah over the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The question we should be asking is, who stands to lose from this renewed alliance? The answer appears to be Iran. All three of Trump's host nations remain deeply wary of Iranian ambitions, with regional experts warning about the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' efforts to undermine every country in the region. A fourth round of Iran nuclear talks in Oman failed to produce a breakthrough just days before Trump's arrival. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made unannounced visits to both Saudi Arabia and Qatar, likely attempting to pass messages to Washington through these intermediaries. As Trump courts America's Gulf allies with promises of prosperity, is he simultaneously isolating Iran and pushing it further into Russia's orbit? And what might this mean for regional stability in the months ahead? Taiwan's security shadow. As China's military modernizes at breakneck speed, a shadow looms larger over Taiwan. Pentagon officials warn that Chinese forces may soon be capable of invading the island while preventing American intervention, a concerning development for the democratic nation that China claims as its territory. The recent U.S.-China trade agreement provided some economic breathing room, with Taiwan's stock market gaining 1% on the news. But has this commercial detente done anything to address the underlying security concerns? Reports of China's expanding global surveillance network, including alleged spy bases in Cuba just 90 miles from Florida, suggest Beijing's ambitions extend far beyond trade. These developments are viewed as part of a broader strategy to extend Chinese influence worldwide, with potential implications for Taiwan's future. Meanwhile, a video titled "Forging Unity, China and Taiwan's 2025 Alliance" has been circulating online, falsely suggesting a diplomatic breakthrough between the two. This synthetic content highlights the information warfare aspect of this complex relationship, where perception can be as important as reality. As Taiwan continues to seek international recognition despite China's diplomatic pressure, one question remains central. How long can this delicate balance be maintained before something gives? Conclusion. From factory floors in China to missile-struck homes in Kashmir, from diplomatic chambers in Riyadh to military planning rooms in Taipei, the events of this past week will reverberate through our global future. We've seen how quickly conflict can escalate between nuclear powers, how economic warfare can pause with a handshake, and how massive investment deals can reshape regional alliances. The coming weeks will reveal whether the ceasefire agreements and diplomatic initiatives established during this period lead to lasting stability or merely set the stage for the next crisis. What developments are you watching most closely? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this briefing valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay informed on the forces shaping our world. Until next week, stay safe, stay curious, and stay informed. This is Alex, signing off.